Hi, welcome to Libby Presents Ghost News Network. Today is our paranormal news and discussion. Tom, what do you have for us?
So this week is a little near and dear to my heart because it's a very similar experience that Will and I had recently. So when I ran across it, it definitely piqued my attention. So a paranormal group in Detroit was investigating the LOB psychiatric hospital in Westland, Michigan. It's an abandoned psychiatric hospital. They were in middle of investigation. They were basically trying to decide where they wanted to go. And if you watch the video, you'll see in the video all of a sudden there was a loud noise behind them. They reacted, as people do, and went to go see what it was. And it turns out it was a vinyl record that was smashed on the floor. They said beforehand they had seen the record. It was on top of a filing cabinet, just resting flat from what it sounds like. And this thing was smashed. I mean, it was smashed on the floor in the middle of the room, not even like right next to the cabinet, like in the middle of the room for what it looks like. So, pretty interesting video. You don't actually see the record go flying, but you definitely hear it. As Will and I know, you don't have to see it to know that it happened. So, I don't know if everyone here has seen the video or not, but what do we think?
Yeah, I mean, psych centers, I feel if there's going to be paranormal activity, they're probably going to happen there. You have a lot of messed up history in a lot of them, the majority of them. That's why a lot of them closed. We had 4 of them right here on Long Island. Every one of them had or still have activity. That's what kind of got this group up and running. Kings Park Psych Center, which is a known psych center on Long Island. Everyone's been in there at some point. And, back in 2003, it closed in, I think 97 is when it finally closed. So it sat abandoned for quite a few years, but there was 2 buildings still open in 2003. It was still open. So the police were on cue. I mean, it was hard to still get into. But when you did get in, you were in. I dared 2 of my friends to go in there, building 93. And sure enough, they went in. They took a challenge, they did it. They took a video camera, flashlights, crappy walkie-talkies that we had. And they were in there for I'd say about an hour and 45 minutes. And they were on the sub-level. So you have like the first floor and then the first basement and then underneath that. And they were in there and they're walking around. There's shit all over the place, files, there's all sorts of stuff. And they were talking, they were looking at some of the computers. And all of a sudden you hear, boom! Just a loud bang. And it literally sounds like there was, the best way I can describe the sound would be like a metal drawer, desk, whatever you want to call it, and it moved and slammed against the wall. And they came running out. This is the middle of the night. So a lot of people were like, well, was there other people, and I'm like, it was hard to get in those buildings. You would know if somebody else was in there. The sound travels. So if you're in there making sound, walking around, you're going to hear other people. So, and then a couple of years later, in 2005, we went into the quad, which is building 41, 42, and 43. And it was during the daytime. We walk in, we get through the back door, and we walk down one of the hallways, and we cut down to the other hallway, and it's pretty dark. And right when we cut down to the other hallway, we start hearing what sounds like the second floor above us. It sounds like somebody's moving a desk. Like when you're in high school and the floor above you, they're moving their desks around. That's exactly what it sounds like. And we're like, what the hell is that? It keeps happening and happening. And we're like, yo, let's get the hell out of here. So we left, and our whole point to do that building that day was to find out if there was the tunnel entrance. We had a tunnel map and wanted to see if it lined up. So we go back up to our checkpoint. And one of the guys in our group, Tim, he used to run track. So he's like, I'm going to run in there by myself. He's like, I'm just going to run in, run down that hallway, check quick, see if there's a tunnel entrance, and then run out. I'll be real quick. I'm like, right, we'll keep an eye out for you, watching out for security. He runs down. Right when he starts to crawl through the window,
Even the nicest of the psych centers was prone to violent outbursts and things like that from patients. It's just, they're psych centers, that's what happens, and that's not meaning it has to be criminally insane or anything like that.
Right.
It's just people freak out. It happens. So that energy has to be imprinted on in these places to some degree, especially with all the years of history that reside there. So.
Well, yeah, you think about the treatments back in the day. We look at it as torture now, but at the time that was the science. Things like lobotomies and tying people down and that type of thing.
Not even talking about treatments, just the staff to patient ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody wants to know what went on in the psych center, go on YouTube and look at Willowbrook. Watch 5 minutes of that, and that's every psych center out there. You get a taste of it.
Yeah.
You're talking 2 nurses to 150 patients.
Yeah.
People pissing themselves, shitting themselves, and you just can't get to everybody. Crammed into small quarters, moaning, watch 5 minutes of that video and you're going to get a feel for every psych center. And then walk into one with that in your mind.
Not to mention...
Then watch session 9.
Then watch session 9.
Psych centers used to become, and even today, hospitals are kind of like this, but it was a place where people dumped unwanted family members, where if you had a mental disability, you were just dumped there and left to rot, essentially. And if you go back far enough, some of the requirements, or whatever you want to call it, to be admitted to a psych center, it could be something as simple as not wanting to have sex with your husband. You were clearly mentally unstable. You were just sent there.
Right.
So it was that horrible impression leaves a lasting impression on those buildings and on those locations where there's such sadness and anger and confusion, and just even with completely sane people that are not meant to be there are just experiencing hell. And as far as the record goes, I believe it because light bulbs.
So sometimes it wasn't even mental disorders. People with tuberculosis would be taken to psych wards and just dropped off. These aren't people that were having any kind of mental disorders or anything. They were just sick and they didn't know how to treat them. They're like, hey, just put them in an open field. They'll be all right. They just need fresh air. And here's somebody who doesn't even have a mental disorder, who's surrounded by people that may, and it's just, what does that do to that person's mind as well? How does that affect those people that, they just have tuberculosis?
And then back then, you bring in one person who had TB.
All of them had it.
Everyone's getting TB real quick,
Oh, yeah.
and that's a lot of people dying in a very short amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
Them dying terribly.
I think they said Waverly Hills Sanatorium had what?
Oh,
65,000 people died there.
Yeah.
65,000 people died in one building. It's one building. It's blows your mind.
Really increases the odds of a haunting, guys.
They say that's one of the most haunted places, so it's,
Seaside Sanatorium.
Sanatorium.
Same thing. We saw where the spot where they cremated the TB victims.
Oh yeah.
It's, Anybody else on the whole psych center?
Kind of just everything you guys were saying. You kind of nailed it. They're just a good hotbed for any sort of activity like that, and we've all had our own little experiences with things getting smashed. And
Yeah, I mean, just as far as the reaction, I mean, when I watched that video the first time, I mean, their reaction was pretty spot on to mine and Will's reaction. The initial,
to your reaction.
Even the vocals,
the initial salty language that got bleeped out in this video, and then the instinct saying, "All right, let's go." I mean, that's the first thing it said. You know, oh, whatever the word was that got bleeped, and let's go.
Yep.
And that was my first instinct too when that happened. Was something was saying, "You may not want us here anymore." So.
Pretty sure it's what the fuck. Is what you said.
Yeah, we don't do bleeps here.
No, I'm saying I don't know what they actually. I know what I said. I don't know.
Moments etched in your memory forever. That'll be the last thing that goes out of your mind when everything else fades away.
I want it on my tombstone.
What
What's
the?
that?
All right, so what do you guys think? Did you see the video of the record breaking at the sanitarium? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you haven't yet, give this video a like, share, and subscribe. You can also click the little notification bell to get all of the notifications on when our content is updated. So thank you guys very much for joining us on this latest edition of Ghost News Network. And until next time, take care, guys.